We're here with Dan for Driving Out. What that driven out. What made you come up with the concept for this?
Well, it all started, I would say, back when I was talking to my friend Andy Curry. Andy and I both worked together in advertising for a long time. I was a producer, and Andy's a creative director, and he has actually made his own short film before that he wrote and directed. And we were hanging out at a Fish cover band show.
No.
And also out here in Jersey. He lives in Summit. I'm in Montclair. And, I just kind of offhandedly pitched him the idea that I had about this guy who had essentially done some bad things in his past, and winds up getting in a car, car service, one of these, rideshare services. And it winds up taking him on to like another dimension where people are punished for the bad things that they've done. And he said, you know what, that sounds like a really interesting idea. If you write it, I'll direct it. And I said, all right, great. So I went back, and I literally within less than a week, I wrote the script. It was a 17-page short film script.
Yeah.
Which actually, is kind of longer than I intended it to be. But I sent it to him, and he loved it and immediately put together a treatment. In advertising, we kind of do these big visual treatments, and we were kind of off and running very quickly. And within a couple of months, because of all of our contacts in advertising, I have a lot of people who work both on the production side and the post-production side. I was able to assemble a really talented team of people very quickly. And then the big thing, of course, was just raising the money that we needed to actually put together the production. And it all just came together, and it happened really fast. And we were really excited to shoot the thing.
How did you go about the casting process for the actors? Did you know them already?
I did not know any of them. It was kind of a mishmash. I have a really good friend named Matt Messinger, who's a casting director in Manhattan, who I've worked with for probably a couple of decades. And I asked him if he could help out, and he immediately said, "Sure, I'll pitch in." He helped us find Stephen Cofield Jr., who was the sort of foil, the guy that winds up, his friend that screws him over in the film. Rick Irwin, who's our lead actor, who I'm hoping he's going to be there for the screening. He is actually a friend of Andy Curry, our director. They went to college together, and just as luck would have it, he was kind of perfect for the role. He lives down in Philly, and he said, sent him the script, and he said, "Would you like to do this?" And he said, "Yeah, I've been looking for something like this for a while." So he was fantastic. And then, I was looking for somebody to play the retired athlete, and I was really hoping I could find someone who was a real athlete, not knowing if I'd be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And, don't underestimate the power of social media, because I started to reach out to a couple of New York Giants with no luck. And then the third one was David Tyree, and he replied to me immediately. Oh. And the crazy thing is that he's from Montclair. He went to Montclair High School.
Oh, wow.
I got super lucky, and I didn't even know that when I reached out to him, which is nuts. But then he said, "Yeah, I got lots of love for my Montclair people, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it." And we had a couple of phone conversations, and he was just the nicest guy in the world. Mm-hmm. And once I locked him in, I was pretty good with it was easy to find. The rest of the cast wasn't a big deal, other than the female lead, who, that was kind of a crazy story, where I found someone through Matt, my casting director, but it turned out late in the game we had to switch our shooting days, because of weather. We had to do our outdoor day and our indoor day, and vice versa. And so the last minute, the actress dropped out because she couldn't make it on the day we needed her. So I was frantic because I had nobody, and it was literally the night before we were shooting.
I've been there. I've been there. It's not easy.
So a friend of mine, as luck would have, I mean, I went around the corner. I knocked on the door. Patrick Wilson, who's a very famous actor.
Yeah.
He lives around the corner from me, and his
Oh,
wife,
wow.
Dagmara Dominichik, she's a very famous actress too. I literally I printed out a treatment. I was gonna like beg her to do it, but they didn't answer their door. They're probably like, "Who's this crazy guy knocking on?" So I instead, a friend of mine who lives in West Orange, he called me just to wish me luck for the next day. I told him what was going on, and he said, I think my neighbor is an actress. She might be able to do it. And as luck would have it, he put me in touch with her. She's an accomplished Broadway actress, Haven Pascal, or Haven Burton, she goes by. Haven Burton is, she was just in How to Dance in Ohio on Broadway, which was a really, really big show. And she said, if I can just work out childcare, yeah, I'm in. And she was fantastic. So just got really lucky, but it was it was touch and go there for a while.
You probably have a lot, like, you don't even realize there's probably a lot of like Broadway actors that live in New Jersey around by you, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's tons. They're all around here. Certainly in Montclair, there's a lot of people who are in the industries, both in front of the camera, on the stage, as well as on the production side. But yeah, it was. I just last minute I was calling everybody. It was tough.
Yeah, that's not a fun predicament. I did it. It happened to me too. So we get to experience all those crazy things throughout, and weather too. Weather just
yeah. And by the way, the old man in the film is my dad. He's 90.
Wow. Oh wow.
He's 90 and he's never acted before. He's a psychologist, but I said, why don't we just try it out and see how it goes? And he was terrific. He did a really great job.
Absolutely. No, it was all the acting was really solid and really good. You could tell, obviously. And I kind of like, how did you do all the car scenes?
That was tricky. We actually shot all of the interiors in my driveway with a giant green screen. So everything where you saw Rick, kind of doing this or that, he's just faking it. And then we shot plates all around town with Pat, my DP, Pat Sullivan. He was either, shooting out of the window or out of the back of the car, the front. We shot all around because I thought I was going to have to buy the plates and fake it. By the way, there was a great website called drivingplates.com where they were going to give them to me super cheap for like, I don't know, like $100. And then I just said, let's just try to do it. Let's just try to shoot it. And the hardest part was just finding someone to do all the comp work, which is, it was a ton of work because it was like 30 shots or something like that. They had
a lot of shots, it seems like, right? And then when you sped up the camera too, you needed a lot of.
Yeah, it was a ton of comp work. And luckily there's a guy I know, because normally you do that in a flame, but there was a guy I know who could do it in After Effects, which is rare. Not a lot of people do that kind of work in After Effects. It was a guy I had worked with in advertising, this guy named Scott Paolo, who was just amazingly talented with that kind of stuff. And he stepped in and he did a phenomenal job because it's pretty seamless. I mean, you can't even really tell. So that was another huge stroke of luck that I was able to find Scott. He did such a terrific job. But the guys, Pat and the lighting guys did an incredible job, shooting that and making it look, so real. And then just getting all the moves and everything with Rick in the car.
Absolutely. So
the exterior stuff we shot, obviously that was all real, practical.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. And then how long did it take? How many days was that? A couple days?
There were 3 principal days of shooting, and then we did pickups for the exteriors of the car, and then we also did a drone shot, a drone day with Pat. Pat also has a drone, so we got the shots of the overheads of the car, the overheads of the houses, and everything like that. That was a separate. That was just Pat and me, literally the 2 of us. Just he came out and we shot all of around the neighborhood. And the days with the exteriors of the car, that was Pat, me, my line producer, my gaffer, and the director. It was, and like even the shot of him. I'm driving the car. I was the stunt driver.
No.
You can't tell, but
Yeah.
it's anytime there's an exterior of the car driving, like 95% of it is always me driving.
Oh wow.
Much to the chagrin of Andy, it was his car. Sometimes I was kind of a little bit reckless with the driving.
And then you filmed that all in Montclair?
Yeah, the whole thing. It's my house. Both the interiors and the exterior is my house. And then there were some locations around Montclair that I had pre-scouted, and I knew where we could go and it would look good. We shot in one of the parks in Montclair, and then in town, I got the permission of a couple of storefronts just to make sure that they were cool with it, and they were great. Even the beer that we used, that's from the Montclair Brewery.
I love that brewery. I love that place. I go there.
Yeah,
every time I get a chance.
The T-shirts, the owners there are terrific, really nice people. So it had a real Montclair kind of theme to it in terms of, many of the crew members were MSU grads, or lived in Montclair at some point. I really tried to get the flavor of the community, injected into the production.
A lot of my former students, I teach film in high school. They go to film school in Montclair.
Yeah, it's a great school. I mean, it's a really great program there, and it showed in the production. Everyone was, really professional and worked really hard, and I was so happy with the efforts on set.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we're excited to screen it on August 11th. Now you could fit under, like, we have it. I guess it's a New Jersey film, so it fits that. But I mean, you could put that into like a lot of horror fests too, because it's kind of the horror thriller-ish kind of a feel to it.
Yeah, it's funny. We actually a few festivals have placed us in the horror category. I don't really
more drama. It's more drama, but you can kind of sneak it into
sci-fi thriller.
Yeah,
category. Yeah. We'll take what we can get.
Sometimes those horror fests and the horror cons, they stretched it a little bit, but like it's like kind of disturbing and scary enough that it would fit at one of those.
Yeah. As long as people like it, I don't care. If they're like, "Hey, we want to put you in the horror category," it's like, go right ahead, do what you need to do. I don't care.
They're fun. Those horror fests, the horror cons, they're a lot of fun. The people, so but it's kind of cool that kind of you could go either way with that. You go drama, go that way, thriller.
And
then New Jersey.
Yeah, it's like I usually describe it to people as a psychological sci-fi, but because it's there's no gore in it or anything.
No.
It doesn't, to me, I guess. But if you wanted to say, oh, it's horror because it has kind of a horror style ending and it gets really kind of tense and scary, then sure, you could say that. But again, I leave it open to the interpretation of the audience and whatever they're feeling. But I just hope they enjoy it. That's all.
Absolutely. Well, it's a good thriller too. I like the thrill to it. Those are my favorite type of films. Not like the bloody gore, but like the thriller type of, the ghostly or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are the ones that make me get, so I like those a lot. So is there anything are you working on now?
Well, I'm part of the Montclair film community, so I take classes at Montclair Film. I'm in the screenwriting lab there, and we actually do. What's really fun is we put together table read at the end of every semester now. So I'm currently working on a feature. It's a dystopian future where the title of it is it's got a really cool title. It's called The Currency of Sleep, and it's about a dystopian future where people no longer use money as the currency, but the government controls the currency, and the currency is these things called dream credits. So once you run out of dream credits, you no longer have the ability to sleep anymore.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. That should be good. So you wrote that. Is it done? Or are you writing it now?
I'm over 100 pages into it. So I'm almost finished with it.
Wow, great. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got 15 pages.
Not too bad. That's pretty good. That'll be a lot of fun to film too, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's a little ambitious from
Yeah.
a budget standpoint, but yeah, I'm hoping I can enter it into a few festivals, or at least get it in front of some folks who might be interested in funding it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you have anything you want to promote? Any of your handles or anything that you want to get out there? Or,
Sure. If you want to see all the projects I've worked on, you can go to my website. It's danfriedwrites.com. That's DANFRIEDWRITES.com. And my handle on Instagram is Light the Lamp Productions. So you can just go to that. That's kind of like a hockey reference there for anyone who's into hockey.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, thanks for joining me for a few minutes today. I got a few more of these to go, and then I gotta. It's summer for me, so I have a lot to do.
I hear you. Thanks so much. I really appreciate the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll probably get this up within probably tomorrow sometime. Probably put it up on the web. I'm putting it on Facebook first, and then we're gonna put them on the website.
Awesome.
And YouTube, and our YouTube as well.
Fantastic. I really look forward to seeing you on the 11th. That'll be great. I know some of the people I'm who are aligned with the production should be there. I think Rick and my director Andy and his wife, and I think my dad's going to come, and some of his friends. So there's a lot of people bought tickets. So I think a lot of those people are my people. So
yeah, it's funny because it's like in our March one, like I thought I do it with another guy. This other guy, Chris, is we 50-50.
Yeah,
and we got it down, but like he got COVID last time, and I had to do it all by myself. And I'm like, that's it won't be as crowded this time in March. It was the craziest fest we had in 10 years. Couldn't move. Everything was sold out. I was going crazy by myself. I was like, oh, whatever. I don't know. People were standing. It was nuts. So I'm like, I don't know if we could top that. But then it happens. So
I used to live in Jersey. I lived in Jersey City for like 12 years. I was right around the corner from you guys, not far from you guys. I was on First between Jersey and Erie forever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's right there. I loved it there. But
yeah, I used to work at the OLC school.
No, nice. Yeah.
So, a long time ago.
I miss it.
But yeah, so yeah, thanks for joining me for a few minutes, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Look forward to it, Chris. Thanks so much.
Great. Thank you.